Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to look at the May-June 2017 Information Technology Paper 2. So we have been provided with these materials, and so we can go ahead and work with this information here. Okay, so we'll go straight into the scenario for our paper. You're working for Tower Technology Solutions. You are required to carry out some data handling and media tasks. You must use the most efficient method to solve each task. You're required to complete the evidence document called evidence.rtf. Okay, so all files are saved. All files saved should include your center number and candidate number, e.g. evidence underscore xx999 underscore 1234. Okay, so let's work on the evidence document and then we'll come back and start with this step. Okay, so we'll go inside our folder where our files are saved, and we're going to insert our name here and candidate number. So this is Casa Evans ZM5560001, and we're going to save as in the current folder. I'm just going to add the underscore ZM5560001. Okay, and I'll change it probably to Word document. It's not necessary, but yeah. Okay, so there we go. So now we'll go back to the question paper. Okay, so the company is going to centralize the management of several European branches. You've been provided with the following files, and so these are the three files that you have been given. Okay, details of the staff in the branches are in the file. Okay, in this file. Okay, so this is where you're going to find details of the staff in the branches. Open the file to inspect the data. Okay, so we'll go and open it. Okay, so it's this one, and so we just need to inspect the data really and just see what this file is all about. Check out the emails. You've got pay scales. There's no payroll number here, and there's no branch and pay. Well, the branch is there, but there's no pay. Okay, so receive the file as a spreadsheet and named this one TTS match center number and candidate number. So we'll save it as a spreadsheet. So go to file, save as. Oops, not this one. Cancel. Save as. And then we'll just add underscore ZM5560001 and save it as a spreadsheet. So save it as an Excel workbook. Okay. Click on save. Okay. Okay, let me just do this again. Go to file, save as, in current folder, save it as underscore ZM556 underscore 0001 and save it as Excel workbook. Okay, good. It was failing to save the other time. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we'll go back to question paper. So we are done with this step. I'll mark it in pink maybe. Let's use pink for all the colors of steps that we are done with. Okay, so insert a row above the data. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let's put it in yellow. So we insert a row above this data. Okay, and set the row height to 51 points. So right click on the margin here on the row numbers. So right click and row height and set it to 51. Just type 51 there, hit enter key, and your rows would have been, your row height would have been set. Okay, merge the cells in in columns A to D of this row. So A to D and merge them. Next, in the merge cell, insert a function to display the current date and time. Okay, so we'll say equal to The function actually, guys, for inserting the date is just now. Okay, like that. So this one will pick up the date, and notice that it has picked up the date in this format. So you have the format, this one here, 18. Yeah, so this is the date, it is 18, and that. So the format that it is currently on is DD, then MM, then YY, and that's why you see that it's start. And so you have the date, the time as well. The format for the time is HH, and you see that you have the minutes. So this is the format that you currently have. So if you go back to the question paper, you will see that the format that you're expected to have is this one. Okay, so format the date so that it looks like this. So I'll just put this here so that we do this. So what happens here, guys, is that for you to get a full name for the day, you need to type 4 Ds. Now 4 Ds, that's the full name. 3 Ds, that is the abbreviation for that name. So for example, if I say, let me just do this. Let's say if DD is this is the numeric. Okay, this is numeric number, and it's 2 digits. Okay, so e.g. you have, let's say today is the 18th, so you have a number such as 18. If you say DDD, okay, this is the day, but it is abbreviated. Okay, so it is abbreviated, so you will be something like, today is what? Today is Tuesday, so you have something like Tuesday, like that. Okay, and then also if you have 4 Ds like that, that is the full name for the day. Okay, full name for day. Okay, so this would be something like Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, so it would be something like Tuesday, like that. Okay, so that is for the day. For the month, if you have MM, as usual, it's the same thing. MM means numeric. Why did I say numeric number? Numeric number is numeric. Let's say 2 digits. Okay. Okay, this is also numeric, but 2 digits. Okay, so in this case, e.g. will have something like April is 4, so you have something like 04. Okay, so 4th month, you have 04. Then you have MMM, which is short form for month. So it's month abbreviated. Okay, so you have something like month is April, so you have something like this, April. And then lastly, for the month, okay, so I'll put this one here. Lastly, for the month, you have MMMM, 4 M's. So this is full month name. Okay, full name for the month, and this will be something like April. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to pause the video a little bit so that I attend to a phone call. Okay, let me just finish this, otherwise if I pause the video I'll have to cancel this screen. I'll call back the person who's calling me. Okay, so so that is that. But for the year, I'll put it down here. For the year, when you have YY like this, again, this is numeric, and this is going to be 2 digits. Okay, 2 digits. And for the if you have an example would be maybe e.g. This is 2018, so we just have 18. Then if you have got 4Ys, unfortunately there is no 3Y in for the year. So if you've got 4Ys, this is the full year. Full year. Okay, it's numeric, but it's full year. So you have something like 2018, like that. Okay. So basically, you can look at this structure so that you can have something like what you're being shown. So that this can lead to this kind of date. So automatically, we know that for us to have this date, I would need something like DDDD for the month, for the day rather, and then I'll also need 2 digits for the date. Okay, so you have today is the 18th, so you have 18, so you just do DD, that's the format. And then for the month I have 4 M's so that I have the full month name. And then for the year I'll put it dash direct under it, I'll put YYYY. And then for the time HH, like that, MM. So that is the date format that we need to format this in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to cancel this and go ahead and do this one. Okay, so let me just pause and answer this call. All right guys, we continue. So you saw what I did to break down this date. Okay, so what we need now to do is to go back to our Excel spreadsheet. We need now to take this function which is giving us the date and format it to match that. So in order to format values or data in Excel, we can use what is known as the text. Okay, so it takes in the value that you have, and then you specify the format that you want to have that value presented in. So in this case, we'll say text, and then it says converts. Okay, let me just do this. Notice it says that it converts a value to text in a specific number format. Converts a value to text in a specific number format. Okay, so that is what we're doing. Okay, so you put bracket and it gives you the format. So the value will be this one. Okay, so you click there, this will be the value, and then you need now to specify the format. And remember, the format will be enclosed in 2 quotes like that, and then we can now do the format at once. So the format is, first of all, the full day, followed by 2 digits of the date, followed by the full month name, followed by the full year. Okay, that's what we have in there. Then followed by the time. Now you need to format the time. Say the time is HH, and then full colon like that, and MM. If they ask you to include the seconds, you would also do full colon and seconds like that, and that will also reflect. But in this case, we've not been told to include the seconds. You can experiment on your own to find out what would happen if you include the seconds, and you will see what will happen. So like this, you hit enter key and notice that it now formats. Actually, this is Wednesday today. Why was I saying Tuesday? This is Wednesday today. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it's Wednesday 18th, and so you have that date. So it's perfectly formatted, and we can move on to the next question. Okay, the next question says merge the cells in columns E to I of this row. Okay, so E to I, that's there, and merge them. So once you merge them, so these we are done. I can put them in pink, including this. Insert your center number, candidate number in the merge cell. So let's put this in pink. Okay, so center number ZM556,0001. Okay, so you have this. That's fine. And you're told display both merge cells in an 18 points sans serif font and ensure all data and text is fully visible. So I'm just going to format this in 18, and it's supposed to be sans serif. So sans serif, I'll leave it at Calibri. If you want, you can put Arial, but I'll leave it at Calibri. Okay, so next question. So this one will format it as pink. It's done. So it has been decided to use a different mail server for the company. All the new addresses will end in this one. So I'm just going to copy this because I won't probably be typing it. So I'll just copy it and I'll use it later on. So each email address will have a new format. For example, a name such as Evie or Evie, yeah, this Evie Baba or Beba or whatever will become e.beber@tts.com. And notice that they have, if you notice, for these two, they have changed the first letter of they've gotten the first letter of the first name and changed it to lowercase. Okay. Then they have gotten this the full name for the last name and changed it to lowercase as well. Okay. And then you have got this address has been added as it is. And then there is also a dot which has been put in between to separate the initial of the first name and the last name. So this is what we have as the structure here. Okay. So this is very easy, guys. Remember, you guys have been using functions in your lessons to manipulate strings. You've been using the left and you've been using the right. Okay. When you go into programming, when you go to do computer science, some of you in future who do computer science, you'll find that there will be other functions such as mid and stuff like that. So what you need to do now is to know how to extract this. So you need to extract first of all the first letter, and to be able to extract the first letter, I need to specify the cell where that letter is, as well as the number of characters I want to return from there. So I want to return only one character, and this one will give me for example, something like that. Okay. Then if I want to change it to lowercase, then there is also a function that you guys have been using to do that. You say lower, and you can have upper, and all these two functions will give you that. So what they do is that they just take in the cell reference that you are talking about, what you want to refer to, or if not the cell reference, then a function. They can take in another function, or they can take in maybe a formula or anything really, but they take in some parameter of some kind. The same appears or happens with the upper function. Okay. So let's go ahead and do just that. Also, the other thing that I would want to talk about is how to join one string from the other. This is called string concatenation. Okay, not concatenation. Concatenation. Okay, so this is basically joining two strings. Okay, two or more strings together. Okay. It's called string concatenation. You join two or more strings together. So what you want in this case is you want to make sure that your strings are joined together, and we use what is known as the ampersand. The ampersand is used to connect or join two strings together. For example, my name is Evans and Chikasa. If I wanted to join these two words without space, I would say something like Evans ampersand Chikasa. Okay, so this would join these two words, and the result will be something like Evans Chikasa. Okay, Evans Chikasa, like that. Okay, so this is how you join that. So you can manipulate all these strings. So for example, if I want to have another string where they tell me that I need to put a dot in the first name and the last name, so that it becomes Evans dot Chikasa. So I'll use again string manipulation. So notice I'll say Evans, and I want it to be, I'll concatenate it, but I'll put some string, okay, like this, Chikasa. In this quote, I'll put what I want to join this name as. So I'll put dot like that, and then this will result in something like this. Evans dot Chikasa. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. So guys, it's fun actually to experiment and work around some of this stuff, and you are going to enjoy doing this. Okay, so let's go ahead and extract this email. So the first thing that probably we want to do is replace what the email that is there, since the email server has changed and we want to have a new way of doing this. So the first thing that we want to do is to retrieve the first name. So I'll say left equal to left, okay, equal to left, and I'll specify the cell that I want. The cell is this one, and I'll specify I only want the first letter, so that's that. So notice that I've retrieved E like that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is to concatenate this with the surname. So I'll say ampersand and then the surname is this one. Hit enter key and notice that now I have E Baba. But what I don't want, notice that E and the first letter for Baba is actually capital. So I need to change these to lowercase. Okay, so we can do that. We can do that now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is maybe let me finish and add the dot in between there. So to add the dot, I'll just include a double quote there like I did previously and put a dot inside and put ampersand there. Notice that it now becomes E.Baba. Okay. So the other thing also is to just join now the word that I copied later on and concatenate it again with this one. Okay. Concatenated that, but this must be string, because if you try to put it like that, you'll get an error because this last part that we've pasted is not a function. Okay, so we need to put this one that is highlighted now in quotes because it is text. So put it in quotes because it is text. Okay, and notice that now you have the email address as e.baba at but we need to make sure that this is small letter, so we need to put the lower function, and everything else now is going to be enclosed in the lower function. And hit enter key and notice that the email has been changed and it is obeying the rule that we have in the question paper that it should be something like this. Okay, so use the format to replace all addresses and ensure they are lowercase. Okay, so we've ensured they are lowercase and we save the spreadsheet. Okay, so let's put this in pink and let's come here and let's replicate this formula. Double click there and all of them will be replicated. Okay, you notice that. So the next thing is that analyze the method of generating the new email addresses and identify the problem that this method causes. In your evidence document, describe the problem. Okay, so we'll talk about the problem and we'll describe the method to automatically detect this problem. And then we'll talk about, give an example of the email address that is affected. So we'll go through the document and give an example of the email address that is affected. And lastly, we're going to suggest a method that we can use to actually correct this arrangement. But these are the steps that we are going to do. So the first thing that we want to do is to find out, do we have a problem in this, or what could be the potential problem with this kind of arrangement? So notice this kind of arrangement doesn't detect anything about names or doesn't perform any validation whatsoever. So if you have two people who've got different first names, but their first names start with the same letter, and yet they have the same surnames, the email address for them will be the same. So that will be the problem. This would lead to multiple duplications of names which have got characters which are the same. Okay, so here we can go to our evidence document and describe the problem. It says this will lead this will lead to duplication of email addresses. Okay, this will lead to duplication of email addresses. That is a potential thing that we can do. That describe the method to automatically detect this problem. So if you come here, if you want to detect if we have duplicates, we can use the conditional formatter. Okay, so just select this email thing and replicate select the entire column and go to conditional formatting, go to highlight cell rules and go to duplicate values. Okay, and notice that duplicate values are highlighted in red. Okay, so this is one method that we can use. So let's write it in out there. So it said we can use the conditional formatter to detect records or email addresses that are a duplicate. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so the next question tells us, give an example of an email address that is affected. So already you just go to the email address that is affected. So right now I have this one, so I'll just copy this email address and come and paste it in the evidence document. So give an example of email address affected, I'll paste the value of this one. The next one is suggest a method of correcting this address. So the method really that you can use would be something like manual. You can design, of course, formula which can maybe include maybe the person's unique ID number or something like that, so that you can just uniquely identify some of these errors that will come up. Okay. So, but in this case, what you can do is go to the email addresses which have got the values which are the same, and manually adjust one of the two. So if two people have the same name, like in my school, we have two students who are Form 1s, and they have got exactly the same name. Okay, so one is Joshua Miti and the other one is Joshua Miti as well. And so the way that they have decided, because they were in primary section and now they moved to secondary section. So in primary section, they told us, as they were, being oriented into secondary, they told us that, well, in primary, we were distinguishing them by calling one of them Josh and the other one Joshua. Okay, and that's how so one of them accepted to be called Josh and the other one Joshua. Okay, but in our case, we can look at this email address. In my opinion, if you look at Hatters and Hajnaka, whatever is Hajnaka. Okay, so this guy, they have got the first two letters of their names the same, and the last names are the same. So their email addresses would be weird. So what you can do maybe is to give them a numeric value for their names. I could have suggested that you use the second letter of their names or the last letter of their names, but there are potentials that these also could be the same. So physically change for one of them. So I'm going to change for this guy. I'll put after the dot or before the dot, I'm going to give this guy a number. Maybe I'll say this one will be number, let's say number 5. Okay. And you do that. So notice that it's now age 5 and then the email address there. Okay. So it says suggest a method for correcting this, and that's the method, and correct the address and save the spreadsheet. So I'll correct it, save the spreadsheet, and then place in your evidence document screenshot of the corrected email address. Okay. So I'm just going to get a screenshot of this one. Okay. And probably just highlight it like that. So this is my corrected email address. Let me see first of all if it is for all of them email addresses. So it is for all of them. So I'll go to the other one as well, which was duplicate. It's this one, Roger Manning and Ray's Money. So for these ones, I'll also give this one a number. I'll give this one 5 as well. Okay. And there you go. So I'll copy these addresses. Now I can't even find where the other one is. So this one, Manning, this one, and we have the other one. What was the name now? Okay, this one, and then we have one more. Hatters, this one. I'll copy all these and then I'll paste them on the here. Okay, I'll paste them here. What? Undo. Okay, so suggest the method. You can say you can manually change one of the duplicate email addresses by adding a numeric value. Okay, so now let's get a copy of these. I don't know, I didn't get them. I didn't copy them maybe, but I copied them. Now you begin to argue. You didn't copy, I copied. You didn't copy, I copied. But I copied them, it's true. But why are they not pasting? Let's try it. Okay, so now this is something else now. Okay, so I'm just going to get them one by one. Okay, so I'll get this one. I'll do this. Get this one. Copy it. Let's see, undo. redo, copy it, and then come here, paste it here, and I'll get its partner. The partner is supposed to be Manning, this one. Copy it as well, and come here and paste it here. And then I'll have the other one as well. Supposed to be this one. Copy it and paste it here. And then the last one will be this one. Where is that? On this one, copy it and paste it as well here. Okay, paste it here. Okay, so basically that's what we are going to have. Okay, so yeah, so let's go back to the question paper, and now I think I'm going to end here for this video, and I'll continue shortly with step number D for the next in the next video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.